It's the 4th of July and it's time. We're going to harvest the Armenian garlic. This is the largest head garlic that we grow. We grew it for the first time last year and we were very pleased with the outcome. Let's hope we are this year as well. I hear it on. Why do you have it on?
You will note today is a national holiday per our speaker. However, you will note that we are still working. Somebody doesn't understand what the word national holiday means.
Very nice. Oh yeah, very nice. Very, very nice. Okay. This is the final, all cleaned up. Those are the average size ones. Those are the large ones, and the largest isn't even as large as anything we had last year. 3 small ones, and then 4 that never split. Really interesting harvest. This is the Armenian. I am really ready to have some things uncaged in my yard from the bunnies, and I think these sunflowers are finally large enough that they are no longer tempting to the bunnies, so cage comes off. Well, that just looks loads better. I've taken a little green twine and tied them to the fence for a little bit of extra support. This bed now needs some attention, and I need to harvest my sweet William seeds here up in front. So it is time to collect sweet William seed. They're ready. So all I'm going to do is take off the head, and you can see it says as soon as you dump them over, you've got 100 at least seeds, and I'll keep working at this and I'll get even more, and it's just as easy as that to collect sweet William seeds. Well, I need to get some harvesting done so I can process some things, and beets are getting very big. Ooh, 2 came. This is the chioggia variety. I think I'll take this one next. All right, I think 3 will do it. Got greens and nice beets. So every day when I head out to the garden to water or do whatever, I've kind of made it a habit to do a couple of things. This spray bottle of isopropyl alcohol and my little snips clippers so that I can take care of anything that I see happening. The other thing is right here, some of these little garden clips. I clip them onto my shirt, my pants, whatever. So I find a vine that needs some training, or a tomato, whatever. They just come in handy to have with you rather than having to run back into the house. Well, it started to rain and I dodged in the shed. We've all done it. Well, I took shelter under the patio umbrella. It's just a light sprinkle, and I'm going to get my alpine strawberries that I seed saved sown. I separated them from the paper towel, and I am going to very, very generously sow them in each of these cells. I may be sorry if I have good germination that I have so many to prick out, but I'll cross that bridge later. I've got some sand left over from another project and I'm going to top it. That was a suggestion I read on the internet. I hope this works. So I'm going to take you on a little walk around the yard. You'll see that we like gargoyles. We don't name them all, but this one's name is I Hope It Grows. He's our newest gargoyle. That's a lovely dragon that my sister and brother-in-law gave us. I love him. He hooks on things. Next to my potting bench, I've just got a conglomeration of plants. My girlfriend saved this 3-tier planter from the garbage. I just love it. It's a little awkward. I have to piece together cocoa to put in it, but we make it work. And there's my little gnome guy. But this is a nice little grouping. These planters are usually a little more spectacular, but they've been riddled with bugs this year. Something's had a really good munch. Some dianthus. This is a shade garden. There's 2 types of clematis and they're both done for now. They bloom differently. One blooms pink, one blooms purple. These are some more of the gargoyles. Both of those are from the Cathedral de Notre Dame. They were our first gargoyles for the garden. There's some turtle head. That's beautiful in the fall. And different hostas that bloom at different times. This is Japanese anemone. It'll be firing up the middle of July. Pink blooms. And there's another lovely guy. There's my ginger for the grow along, which has had a rather rough go of it. It was doing so well until it got transplanted outside and it really shocked. But it's coming back strong, so I'm hopeful. And my brother-in-law has a strange sense of humor, getting us a bunny rabbit. Oh. These are citronella urns at both ends of the bar. They do help with the mosquitoes, especially if you ruffle them. Crush a couple and put them on the table. That's the dahlia that I overwintered successfully. I am so proud of it. It is so lovely. This year I decided to put plants on this little cafe set because we actually don't sit in it. It's not really particularly comfortable. This is a cucumber that I bought. It was called a patio. We've had a couple cucumbers off of it already, but it is the first plant in the yard that got some powdery mildew on it. I just replanted these. I had stock in there and it bloomed and then it just went into nothing. So we're on round 2 of plants in there. This is a lemon mint and that is an orange mint. Those are new this year, something cool to try for tea. These gargoyles we call the Council of Elders. So they sit in judgment over everything that we do. We love our gargoyles. This is another gargoyle that we've had for years. He sits out in the front flower bed. This is usually much more spectacular. Everything's pretty much just hanging on up here because this is south facing, and honestly it is pretty brutal. And I have no idea why my sedum, which really blooms in the early fall, has decided to bloom at the beginning of July. But we'll take the pretty anytime the pretty comes. Those are multiple kinds of sedums which all bloom at different times. They're quite pretty. And this is a 9-bark. The 9-bark is really, really a bang for your buck kind of a plant because it has multiple colors throughout the year and it's just getting ready to bloom. That'll be really pretty. On this side, the sweet peas are just amazing smelling. And those poppies were delightful. I'll try to insert a picture. I've got quite a few different kinds of plants in here, but honestly, it's usually a little more lush at this point than it is right now. I think everything is just trying to hang on. It's had such intense heat, and this is a south-facing part of the house that is surrounded by stone and cement. These are a couple of the overwintered geraniums. They kind of fill in here on the wall. A nice little hanging basket. Meet Rupert. Rupert is a big softie, actually. He's a big gargoyle. He's a heavy one. This bed is prettiest in the spring when that phlox, creeping phlox, and then the iris are in bloom, and then it comes into its own again in the fall when this burning bush just blows up. It's pretty gorgeous. These are pink Weigela. They are quite lovely in June. And then Henry follows behind that in latter June. These are new variegated lilies that I just put in, some snaps and some Dutch tiny little irises. And this is just a bunch of hosta. These are Al's pots he put together. I think they're lovely. And they've been nibbled down to nubs multiple times by the bunny rabbits. But we found that repels all granules have worked to deter them. So now they're filling out and becoming quite lush. Here's another one of our gargoyles. He's been with us for years also. And this guy has too. This guy's kind of hidden right now because this end of the garden is a work in progress. This is one of the bird baths, and it goes through different periods when it looks really, really nice. When those astilbe are all in bloom, they're pink. It's quite lovely. I'm waiting on this clematis to get a little more mature to put on a good show. Those were supposed to be climbing nasturtiums, which should have put on a show, but they don't seem to be climbing much. And I had a sweet pea there too, but didn't do anything. I'm not in Chicagoland. I am in Wisconsin at the Wisconsin place. And, it is a lake property that is left to its own devices. But I have some garlic and some rhubarb to harvest. Let me show you. So this is the little box that we put in the fall. And as you can see, no one's been here to take the scapes, so it still has the scapes on it. It really hasn't died back yet, so I could wait to harvest this, certainly, but we are not sure when we will be back up here. So I am going to go ahead and harvest this now and freeze it, clean up those chives, and I found some leeks to plant where the garlic comes out. I already started weeding, but honestly it wasn't as bad as I thought. And these garlic look amazing considering they've been left to their own devices. Well, here's the harvest. It's too bad that I had to pull it early, but we have no idea when our next trip will be. Excellent scape harvest and a nice rhubarb harvest. So, yay. This is an amazing harvest for something that has to fend for itself completely. Well, this week it was, again, a variety of things. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm not in Chicagoland. I am in Wisconsin. Just for a couple of days. Can't stay away from that garden too long. Remember, sometimes the only thing we harvest is knowledge. And that's okay. Bye for now. We'll see you on the next one.